course of the years, it becomes rather easy to forget the prestigious alumni that have come up through FCC's ranks, especially with the level of talent currently involved with FCC, but we have got you covered. I'm Jendo with Full Contact Contender, and here are some of the stars of FCC's past who are currently in the UFC.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go.
Where better to start than with the man who's taken MMA by storm of late, one Paddy the Baddy Pimblett. Since making his debut in August of 2021, the Baddy is the most polarising fighter this sport has seen since a specific notorious one. Be it his remarkable resemblance to the late great Owen Hart, or be it due to his, let's just say, interesting eating habits, you are sure to see Paddy on your electronic devices at least a few times a day. But, before ever being heard of in the UFC atmosphere, Paddy had to cut his chops somewhere. So, Paddy went hunting for gold. Making his FCC debut in March 2015, a 7-1 Pimblett found himself facing off with undefeated Kevin Petchy for the European Featherweight Championship of Full Contact Contender. In the fight, Pimblett did what he does best. After dragging Petchy into Paddy's playground on the canvas, the Baddy secured the victory and his first ever championship via rear naked choke in the second round.
It's over. The big squeeze. And that's Paddy, what Paddy does so well.
And there's the submission. Paddy the Baddy Pimblett wins the European Featherweight title on Full Contact Contender. Celebrating with a very proud papa there in the crowd here in Bolton.
Just like that, Paddy was a champion for the first time in his professional MMA career. Paddy's experience with FCC was not a one-off, as the Baddy made it a point to defend his newly won championship prior to going back to Cage Warriors. He did just that in July of the same year. Less than 3 months after his championship-winning performance, Paddy one-upped himself. The only better outcome than a second-round finish could be a first-round finish, and the Scouser achieved just that, with the same rear-naked choke that brought home the gold. Having officially proved himself to be ready for the next big step, Paddy the Baddy switched to his next objective. Now he's blowing the roof off of arenas for the UFC, and could have the UFC targeting Liverpool for an event much sooner than anyone could have anticipated.
It's a great show, can't wait to fight on it. It's another high-level show like Cage Warriors, so can't wait to win the belt on it tomorrow.
Mokaev has his sights set on becoming the youngest UFC champion of all time, and we here at Full Contact Contender believe that he has everything it takes to take the record. Yet, before he was even a pro, Muhammad was competing for Full Contact Contender. Mokaev's second ever amateur bout was held under the FCC banner in September of 2016 when he defeated Ashley McCracken via decision at FCC 17. His sole appearance with FCC made an impact as he'd go on to end his amateur fighting days with a record of 23-0 with wins over some of the most impressive names you could see. Now taking the UFC flyweight division by storm, Muhammad is slated to take on LFA flyweight champion Charles Energy Johnson when the UFC makes their second trip to London this year. Should he emerge victorious, then Mokaev is a shoo-in for a steep step up in competition, that top 15 he's been asking for.
Next up, Tom Aspinall. Tommy Aspinall first grazed the FCC cage as an amateur in 2014, and what a way we've come. Now headlining UFC events in London, it's fair to say Aspinall has come a very long way. Outside of the UFC, there's no promotion Tom has fought at more than Full Contact Contender. The Team Cowbon product made quick work of each and every opponent in his way. He clearly embraced the name Full Contact Contender, as the ferocity on display by Tom has never been comparable to that of anyone else. After decimating an opponent in FCC prior to turning pro, Tom would return 2 years later as a professional and remind everyone watching just exactly who he was.
Aspinall Aspinall, though, putting in the work here. Big punches from Tom Aspinall. This is going to be it. The referee takes a close look, and it's all over. Tom Aspinall keeps his lunch money and scores a huge KO here at FCC 15.
From this moment on, it was clear just how dangerous Tom Aspinall was. Sandwiching a DQ defeat in a fight he was clearly winning between his final two appearances with FCC, Tom returned at FCC 16, ready to make someone pay. Once again, Tom obliterated the competition.
Good combinations.
Oh, big shot! And he's out! And it's all over! Tom Aspinall with a huge KO here at FCC 16.
Having done the exact same in the UFC to this point, it has to raise the question of whether or not Tom Aspinall may end up the UFC's heavyweight champion of the world. We here at FCC have placed our bets on Tom achieving the title of baddest man on the planet.
Big Paul Craig just may be Scotland's one true hope at a male UFC champion, and he's inching closer and closer to a chance at the light heavyweight championship. With a pro record of 16-4-1 through 21 fights, many fans forget that Paul Craig did indeed make a stop in Full Contact Contender for his third professional appearance. Currently riding a 4-fight winning streak in the UFC, with all 4 fights ending in a finish and only one of them even leaving the first round, Paul is knocking on the door of UFC gold. But before he finished legends like Shogun Hua and up-and-comers like Jamal Hill, he was finishing foes in Full Contact Contender. June 21st, 2014 was the day Big Paul Craig had his one and only performance for FCC. Entering with a pro record of 2-0 with 2 triangle finishes, Paul Craig did what Paul Craig does.
Posturing up nicely though, that's what he needs to do.
Looking as high to the ceiling as he can, Ferguson having his head pulled down.
But this is not a good position at all.
And John Ferguson submitting to the triangle and punches. Took a couple of huge...
Just over 2 years time removed from his Full Contact Contender appearance, Paul made a successful debut with the UFC. Although seeing his fair share of low points initially, Craig has evolved into the fighter we always knew he'd turn into. Now the holder of a 4-fight win streak, and a finish streak for that matter, Craig turns his attention to Volkan Oezdemir when the UFC returns to London for a pivotal clash. Should Paul emerge victorious from his next contest, we could be looking at the first fighter coming out of Full Contact Contender to challenge for a championship at the UFC level.
Lerone Murphy. It speaks volumes to be undefeated through 12 professional bouts. It says even more when a third of those bouts have been in the UFC. Before reaching the UFC, Lerone was a staple in Full Contact Contender, fighting a total of 5 times, with one of them being when the Miracle was an amateur.
Sweeney's got to be careful to just not turn away as often as he is, giving the referee all the wrong signals.
Big punches here, he's knocked the mouthpiece out, and the referee has seen enough. Lerone Murphy really turned it up there in the second round, John.
FCC was Lerone's promotion of choice, as he fought with the promotion 4 times as a pro, while not appearing in any other promotion more than once. Murphy is a finishing machine, with more weapons than the average fighter would know what to do with. After his pro debut with FCC, Lerone finished each of his next 3 opponents in the very first round.
Nice, sharp right hand in again. Jamie Lee on wobbly legs here. Lerone Murphy unleashing with the body shots. 1, 2, 3, and it's all over. Lerone Murphy with a big finish here. The All Powers man remains undefeated at FCC 18. Unbelievable. Wonderful.
Now, with his stock at an all-time high, Lerone is patiently waiting to see what's to come. With the noise he's made of late, it's fair to say that he's earned a step up in competition.
The Black Country Banger is one of the most entertaining fighters around, and he got his professional career kicked off under the Full Contact Contender banner. Fighting for FCC for both FCC 12 and 13, Jai's 2 appearances for the promotion came the exact same nights as Paddy Pimblett. In March of 2015, Jai successfully made his pro debut with a second round KO TKO victory.
Right knee, straight up the middle.
Beautiful combination!
Unbelievable!
Right, followed by a left cross, I think. Gorgeous.
Well, I mean, he's scrambling again.
I think this one's close to done.
This could be all over. Dean Ware's taking a close look.
Jay Herbert makes a pro debut to remember.
Before following it up in June of the same year with the same result.
Quite find a home for that one. Big knee up the middle again, and a second, and a third, and a fourth.
And he's
Huge
forced him to
shots
cover.
here. This could be it. Neil Hall steps in, and it's over. Jai Herbert pulling off a demolition job in the second round.
Having gone on to fight for Bama and eventually claim Cage Warriors gold, Jai's journey around the UK domestic circuit was one action-packed with tough fights and violent finishes. That much continued into the UFC. Having faced a murderer's row of competition in the UFC, it's no surprise that Jai has suffered defeat with the promotion. For most top talent, their losses teach them more than their wins, and having shared the cage with fighters like Trinaldo, Moicano, and Topuria will definitely take Jai to new heights. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm Jendo with Full Contact Contender, and if you enjoyed this one, make sure you subscribe to the channel and follow us on all social media platforms at FCC MMA for more content like it. We hope to see you guys on the next one. You guys have a good one.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, go.